All right, that should be good. Okay, so this is me, obviously. This first program, I hopefully will do a few more. It's called CRNA Playbook. My name is Captain or Doctor, whichever you prefer, Aisha Allen. And so this is what we're going to cover today, just a little bit about me, steps to CRNA school, and then what I did to get into CRNA school, tuition, how I paid for it, some money talk, how I'm making money, a little bit about my salary, plans for the future and how I plan to make some more money and invest, current business ventures, some plans for the future, and maybe how you guys can help me. And then a little bit about tiny home and some goals and mindset stuff, and then I'm going to open it up to questions. But this entire time, I want you guys, if you feel like it, to ask some questions in the chat box. If you don't get the questions that you need answered, you can probably email me or contact me on Instagram, whichever. And if you're not following me on Instagram, it is Aisha_CRNA. And my email is on there as well. I'm originally from Stafford, Virginia. I loved growing up there. I guess if you asked me as a child, I was like, oh, it's kind of boring. But looking back on it, it's a really good place to live and grow up. Family-wise, I have obviously a mom and dad, 3 brothers. My dog recently passed, named Zola. And they're all either in Virginia or overseas, still living and thriving. I love being outside. I love going to national parks and exploring and nature and being one with nature. I'm also a vegan, if you guys don't know. A lot of you, I think, follow me on Instagram, so you know about that. I live in a tiny home, just recently moved into it. I might give you guys a tour if I'm feeling generous. Raquel raised her hand. I don't know, Raquel. What's up? Let me see. One second, I'll probably get to you in a little bit. Make sure it's all good. Don't want to get through all this and no one hear me. All right, cool. Let's see, where was I? Tiny home. I may give you guys a tour. If you guys don't know, it's called CRNA Playbook. So I am a CRNA, or a certified registered nurse anesthetist. And again, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit about how I got here. And then me and my why. So I am doing the CRNA Playbook for a numerous amount of reasons. One being that I got here with a lot of help. My starting family and home life, and then just a lot of mentors that I had the privilege of having very, very close to me. And through this journey, I would not have been able to do it without them. And I know that not everyone is as fortunate as I am to have people in their immediate circles around them, being able to give them play-by-play, what they did, what worked for them. And so I want to use my quote-unquote platform and my gifts and my knowledge, and I just want to be able to share it with everyone. And so obviously social media, I've been sharing it that way, and I just want to continue to do that because when I started the CRNA path, there was really no one else online heavily on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. And so I was like, you know what, I'll do it. I'll start it. Kind of scared me a little bit, still sometimes does, but I'm glad that I started. So that's my why. Okay, so path to CRNA. Again, you can find a lot of this stuff online now, but I want to kind of give you all my tips and tricks, and then what I feel got me into the schools that I got into. So education and extras. Most schools require a minimum of 3.0. I actually don't know of any schools, but I don't like speaking in absolutes. So at least a 3.0 GPA. And in what? You need to have a BSN when you apply, a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. And you can go about this a few ways. You can do it traditionally, which is what I did. And I attended a 4-year college. You can do an accelerated program after you already have some type of bachelor's degree. You can also do this, get your associates in nursing first, and then take your BSN online. I think a really cool thing that you can do nowadays is get your associates and then start working as a nurse and have the place that you work pay for your online BSN tuition. And then extras. So you want to, my idea and mindset when I was in nursing school was to always do something outside of just the norm that shows that I was thinking about the future. So it's that if that's an internship, an externship, having a job in some type of related field or not, volunteering, but making it meaningful. And then just what you're doing in life. Are you a person that is helping out others? Because that's what nursing is about. You're literally serving others. So everything that you're doing in your life will have a say in the future. So always looking forward, and everything that you're doing, having your end goal in mind. Oops, sorry. Let me turn this off. An experience. You have to, in order to apply to CRNA school, you have to have ICU experience. Now, there's a bunch of different types of ICUs, and I'll talk to you guys about the one that I did. So there's PICU, there is vascular ICU, there's cardiac surgery ICU, cardiac ICU. There's a lot. And let me see here. Okay, questions for later. Awesome. All right, so there's different types of ICU, like I was saying. Different schools require different ICU. Some schools do not accept NICU or neonatal ICU. Some schools do not accept PICU. Now, that is up to you to research and go on their page and see exactly which ICUs that they accept. That is something that you have to search because not all schools are the same. Now, I put quote unquote levels to this because there is a lot of talk I hear all the time and see in the chat rooms that you have to have a level 1 trauma facility, and that's just not true. Because that just wouldn't be fair. Not everyone lives near a level 1 trauma. So if you think about it that way, that's not true. All that matters is that you're getting good experience where you are, and you can be working at a level 2, level 3 and get very, very good experience. What matters is that you're taking care of critically ill patients and that you are titrating medications. It doesn't have to be, cardiac surgery, ICU medications all the time. That's not what it has to be. But again, you want to be critically thinking when you are taking care of patients. That's what's important. And that goes into the patient population. And then organizations. When you were in the ICU, were you a part of some type of organization? I was on the JCO crew, AKA I scraped tape off of walls and tried to make sure that the unit was ready for JCO. So that's something that I did on the unit. I've heard of people doing some amazing things, like starting journal clubs and things like that. Just being a part of your unit, because that directly translates into how you are going to be as a member of the CRNA community. And so schools, when they're applying or looking at your applications, that's something that they can grade you on. Let's see. So, and then the application process. When you're choosing a school, that's up to you. You have to do your own research. And I will say that 10 more times during this. It is up to you to decide what school is right for you. In a way, you are also interviewing the school. Is the location, the cost, is it front-loaded or front-loaded? What's the other name? It'll come to me. So front-loaded means that you are doing all your didactics at first. And then you're going into the clinical setting. Integrated, that's the term. So is it front-loaded or integrated? I preferred a front-loaded program because I wanted to know I wanted to have some type of basis before I went into clinical or into the operating room. So I prefer a front-loaded program. You also want to take a look at what are the prerequisites. I did not want to go to a school that required me to take organic chemistry. It just was not going to happen. So I did not apply to schools that required organic chemistry. Some schools require GRE, some do not. A lot more schools are actually shifting towards requiring a GRE. So, and then also just of note, some schools are, all schools actually by 2025 will be transferring to doctoral nursing practice or DNP or DNAP programs. Soon you will not be able to attend a master's in science of nursing nurse anesthesia program. And then the last thing under applications is building your own criterion. Like you have to be, again, the person that decides where you want to be and spend the next 3 years of your life. Do you want to be taught, or do you want to, there's some schools that are readout programs, or do you want your faculty to have a real hand in making sure that you complete and finish the course? Do you want to be walked through your doctoral nursing practice project? I did. And I kind of wanted to be walked through CRNA school. I paid a lot of money. I went to Duke. If for those of you who do not know, I paid a lot of money to go to Duke, and the Air Force helped me pay for it. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. But it was worth it for me because I felt like I was walked through and I was taught every single day. I was not left to my own devices completely to figure out everything. All right, so next.